Moving further into data analysis, we're going to now look at what kind of errors does Excel have. And when you do certain functionalities in Excel, you sometimes, if you have not put in the formula correctly, or if you have not directed the formula to the correct range to pick up data from, you could get some sort of errors. It's important to understand what are these errors and why do they come essentially, right? So the first one in this list is something called as div by zero error or divide by zero error. Each error is denoted as a hashtag. So a hashtag follows, precedes the error actually, and the name itself suggests what kind of error it would be. So this one is a divide by zero error, which would typically happen when you divide something by zero. You have something called as the name error. When you misspell a formula or a named range, you see this error. Then you have NA or not available kind of a data, which comes, it's an error which comes out when some data is missing, or you have passed on inappropriate arguments into what is called as a lookup function. You're looking for data, but you have misspecified the range, and hence you don't get the data out. We will look at lookup functions separately, but that's when you get an NA error. NA is not necessarily an error as such, but more importantly, a fact that the data is not available where you're looking at. Then you have something called as null error, which is incorrect range operators if you use them. Same correct formula, but incorrect operators that you've used within that. Then you have something called as a num error, which you see when your formula returns a value which is bigger than what Excel can represent. You have a reference error when one of the formula parameters is pointing to an invalid range. So let's say I added two columns and then by mistake I deleted one of them, right? So the third column where I've added the two will now point to a column that doesn't exist. So that would give you a reference error. Then subsequently you move to what is called as a value error, which is when you use text parameters to a function that accepts numbers, and then you have these hash values which occur when the contents cannot fit the cell, right? Let's look at how do you get these. So if you divide 1 by 0, if you put equals to 1 by 0, you will get this error. If let's say you're trying to put in the function sum and just leave it after SU and just press an enter, you'll get the name error. NA is something that we will look at in more detail, so it'll use another function that we will look at separately. But if it looks at data which is not available somewhere or a range which is not available somewhere, then that's going to create a problem. Null is, for example, I'm adding two different columns, data points in two different columns, but I've not put in a equals to a comma in between these two values, so it starts misinterpreting the data and hence throws out a null. If you multiply or take 1 2 3 4 5 6 and raise it to the power of a huge number such that Excel can't handle the size of the number, it will throw what is called as a num error. If you are adding three columns and let's say you delete the third column, that's going to give you a reference error. That's going to give you a reference error, and that's why the reference error comes out. If you put in text parameters to a function that uses numbers like sum ABCD with ABCD, it's going to throw you a value error. And if you're going to create a number like this, which essentially is a number 2.12414124321, so on and so forth, e raised to power 21, this is going to not fit the contents of this particular cell, so it gives you an error based on that, right? So these are the various errors that come out in Excel. Now, sometimes we might want to, so it doesn't look good if this error comes out, right? So if we get this error, we first want to find out whether it is an error or whether it is not an error. So sometimes the function might want to be checked for, is the output an error, right? So that's what we are trying to identify and answer. That's what we look next, which is where we bring in the functions isError, isErr, and isNA, right? Now, in a sense, what we are trying to identify or find here is the output an error? And the function obviously will say either true, it is an error, or it will say false, it is not an error, right? That's the output that you're going to get. You can use it elsewhere, but this first point of analysis to try and find out if there is an error, and then it throws out the answer, right? So let's try this out. So let's look at is error, and you plug in this error cell and see if it is error. It says true, it is an error. And then you can copy paste this across all the error functions that you see, and you keep getting an error other than the last one, which is technically not an error. It's just that essentially this is a bigger number that is not being represented because of the width of the cell, right? Now, what is the difference between this is error and this is error? So let's actually plug in and we'll find the difference automatically. So let's put in is error, select the value D5, copy this and paste it across. And you will find that it is approximately the same, more or less, but for the fact that NA does not come as an error under is error, right? So ISERR gives you an error except NA, so this will give you all except NA. This will give you all, right? So NA is where this differs. So is error gives you an error if you find an NA value. Is error does not give you an error if it finds an N value, and that's because sometimes is N NA may not be an error at all. It could just be that you don't have a value there, right? So it's not an error as such, but the fact that there is no value, and hence you have another function which is called as is NA, which basically tests whether the value is an NA value, right? So just like the others, it'll end up giving you a detailed set of data, and when you put this function on all the other kind of errors, you find that you'll always find it false other than the one point where you have NA error, and that's when you get the sense as true, which is that yes, it is an NA error, not available error, right? So in a sense, the sum of is error and is NA is what is error is, right? Sometimes you might want to find out whether you have actually seen an error in the formula, or is it just because you're pointing to an incorrect table, you're not receiving the data, in which case is error and is NA are useful. If you don't care whether it is an error or an incorrect pointing, is error does the function for you, right? Now extend this further. So far, we have understood what kind of errors are there, and we have understood if we can identify and find an error anywhere, right? Is an error existent there, right? Now, suppose we find that the error is there. If we have spotted an error, what do we do beyond that, right? So what do we do if we spot an error? That is where the functions if error and if NA come in, right? So we get a function called if error, which allows you to take an action if there is an error. So if you think about it logically, is error tells you whether there is an error or not, but it still does not solve the purpose. Suppose you are representing data in a table, you will see div by 0 there if you divided it by 0, or you will see a name error, or you will see an NA error, or you will see a null error, or whatever kind of error, supposing there is an error. If error allows you to remove that and probably put in another identifier which tells you that yes, there is an error, right? So for example, you could put in if error, and in this case, the function's arguments will choose what is the value that you're testing for, in this case div by 0. And let's say when you are putting value if error, let's instead put a text called error, right? So rather than saying or showing this hash div by 0 number, what we show is error, right? So you can basically point out anything there and it will work in terms of error. This one wouldn't, because this is technically not an error. So it throws out what is the exact value and puts it in the number format. If NA, on the other hand, is only for not available values. So again, just as the name suggests, You have to pick up the string which you are testing for, the text value, the value you're testing for, and value if NA, and you can say data not available if you don't have the value, right? And you find if NA actually returns you the error if it is there, but in this third case, it will give you data not available. Otherwise, it gives you the same error that was there, right? So it gives you the same error that was there, but for this one where it says data not available. So now we have moved one step further and we have pointed in that if we want to showcase a certain data in a table using this function, that's where the logical nature of the function comes in. The way it works is you test if error or if NA, both of them work the same way, and you text where. You test where are you testing, and if the answer is yes, then you put in whatever you have mentioned as value here. If the answer is no, it will put in the original string there, right? It'll put in the original content of the cell back in the cell. So if the answer was no for if NA, it put back divide by 0. If the answer was yes, it put in data not available, correct? So this is what value if yes is, right? And otherwise it puts in the existing value that is there. That's how you deal with errors. This could be useful specifically. Let's say you want to find out how many errors are there. You could replace this error with, let's say, 1, and you could keep adding all these, right? So you could do this, and then you do a control V here, and you do a control V here, and then when you add these, you find there are 3 errors. So you could now replace it in terms of, once you have identified the errors, you could move ahead and take the discussion one step ahead by maybe doing analysis on the number that comes out of this if error function, right? So that's where if error, is error, etc. are useful. It's important to understand these errors because once we start dealing with data and start doing a little bit of data analysis, errors would become commonplace. We will find them sooner or later in whatever work we do. So this gives us an idea on how to deal with errors, right? That closes this particular topic.